Hello, and welcome to Dashboard U, brought to you by Ross Video. My name is John Naylor. I'm the Marketing Product Manager for Dashboard. This video is a basic introduction to scripting inside of Panel Builder. We first of all start by learning about the debugger, and then introduce the concept of parameters, and then we change a parameter to trigger the onChange method, which we'll use as a place to attach some simple script. So I've created a new blank custom panel and opened it for editing. And first of all, I'm going to create a parameter using this parameters dialog. I'm going to give it a name. Its name is going to be value. I'll set its object ID to 10 in hex. Give it a type of a 16-bit integer and put some constraints on that. Arrange constraints, start at 0, finish at 255, step size of 1, and initialize it to 0. And let's make the widget for it a touch wheel. Commit those changes, and we can see that we have our parameter added to the list. And let's call that done. Now I can go and add it to the user interface using this button here to insert a number parameter. Parameters are basically numbers or strings. This UI element here would insert a string, but I know it's a number, so I'm using this one. Let's go and drag out some area. I'm going to use an existing parameter. I see it's automatically selected the default widget, which is the thumb wheel, and insert it. That's okay, let's save that. Now let's go and insert it again so we can get a readout of its value. And I'm just going to put in an existing parameter this time. And let's have a hex spinner and hit OK. And if I now go into interactive mode, you can see that spinning this touch wheel changes the value, and likewise, more subtly, changing the value moves the touch wheel. Now let's go and edit the onChange method for this control and write its value out to the debugger window. So I'm going to select the very top level abs here, open up the source window, and start typing. I cheated by pasting this in here to make it faster, but we've opened an OG script element here. We've said it's an onChange handler, and the parameter that it's looking at is OX10, or the object ID 10. I'll just go and close that tab, and we'll write out to the debugger. OG script debug, and let's write onChange value equals, and strings concatenate with a plus operator in JavaScript and in OG script. And we're going to now get this parameter value. So we're going to go params.get value, and the object ID is 10, the element index is 0, and close those braces. I think we're good. Let's apply that, close it. And now the debug window goes to the view menu and select the OpenGear debug information. And maybe let's just share our screen a bit. So now when we go back into interactive mode, we should actually get those debug messages coming out. Lots of them if we use a touch wheel. Now, wouldn't it be cool if we had an LED that's turned on when this value was an odd number? Yes, it would. Let's go and create a parameter to do that. LEDs are strings in Dashboard, so I'm going to go and create a new LED. I'm going to go LED1. I'll give it an object ID of 1. It's a string, The widget hint is going to be an alarm style colored dot. It's unconstrained. Let's commit those changes and call that done. I can now insert that element. This time I'm going to insert a string or a text object, and I'm going to select my LED from the drop-down list. You can see it's automatically selected the widget hint we gave it, and hit OK. So now we have our LED. We can actually turn that on or off depending on whether this is an even number or not. So I'm going to go back into my script and let's clean this up a bit. I'm going to use this value quite a bit, so declare a variable, call it x, and initialize it to params get value of x10, and then I can use x here in the debug message, and I can put in some conditionals here. If x and 1 equals 1, then we want to set the value of that LED. So we're going to go params set value, and the object ID was 1, and the value we're going to set it to is, what I really want to type is this. I'll turn the red LED, the red channel on, but I can't legally do that because this has to be XML. So I need to replace that with a less than element, and this one with a greater than element, and GT, and I actually have to go and replace this ampersand with an ampersand element, and I need to remember that logical tests have a higher priority than bitwise operators, so I need to put those in braces. So if our lowest significant bit is equal to 1, then I'm going to turn the red channel on. Let's copy this. If it's not, I'm going to turn it off. Like that. Let's see if that worked. I'll go into my interactive mode, and no, it didn't. This is quite good. This is the sort of stuff you get out of the debugger if you made a simple mistake like I did there. So let's go back up the stack. Whoops. Let's see what I did wrong. Okay, it's a syntax error. Illegally formed syntax on change. And I can see from this report that I forgot to put quote marks around these strings that I was trying to set the value of the LED to. So let's go and fix that. And you can use either single or double quotes. Doesn't really mind. So now we should have a script which turns this LED on and off. Let's go back to interactive mode. Odd, on, even, off. So that's working. Let's save that. There's one I did earlier that I just want to open quickly. It's called this one. And just for fun, I put in 8 LEDs and made them sensitive to different binary numbers. So you you can see we've got our hexadecimal to binary converter here. And the script for this is quite interesting because I've used a function. So I've got this function here defined, which is called setLED, and I pass it an object ID and whether the LED should be on or not, and it goes and sets the parameter value accordingly. So I get the value of the parameter, and then I just call setLED 8 times with an ascending powers of 2 as the thing I'm doing a bitwise AND against the argument with. So I'm going to end here, leaving you looking at this script where we've shown that we can introduce parameters into our custom panel. We can have them trigger an onChange method like this when they change, and that's a foundation for you to actually do interesting things with your parameter once it's changed. And when things go wrong, you can use the debugger to either get a useful error message in the case of that syntax error, or you can actually use scripts support directly, use the OGScript debug message to print out the state of your parameters and other useful information to help you debug a program. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching this video from Dashboard U. Come back often to see what other videos we make. And remember that Panel Builder is so simple to use that even the marketing guy can do it.